guys, it's Shipbase here, and this is this week's cruise news. The first bit of news got for you guys this week is that some of the itineraries on Anthem of the Seas has been changed. They haven't changed places, they've changed times of like leaving and entering port because of the propulsion issues going on with Anthem of the Seas, and this is happening on June 4th and June 16th on their cruises. Like I said, it's not they're changing lots of different times. It's coming into like Southampton 30 minutes later than it should be. So it's really interesting. I'm on Anthem in July, so I'm really interested to see if any of mine going to be changed. I did. This is a few months ago. Get a changed email that has changed some of our itineraries, but I don't know if it was anything to do with this or that they've changed. They just changed Barca like an hour later, and then Entrin an hour later as well. So I don't know if it was anything to do with this, but I'm wondering if we're going to get updated itinerary anytime soon. If they're doing the itineraries in June, I will keep up to date and give you guys any more information over this over the next few weeks, because it's going to be very interesting to see how much more they're going to change. In more Royal Caribbean news, they have decided to ditch the sky pad. Now this, if you don't know what it is this big yellow boards that are on the side of some of the ships. It's on Independence, Mariner and the Quantum Plus ships, so Odyssey and Spectrum, I think. Yeah, these big yellow boards, basically it was like really bad bungee trampolines with VR headsets. I did it once on Indy and thought this is a complete waste of space. They added it in the Royal Amplified on Mariner and Indy. It's kind of above the sports court, so it wasn't space being used anyway. But still, they had on the upgrade. They had the Playmakers and they had the Sky Pad. Like those are the kind of big upgrades. Obviously, the water slides, but the Sky Pad was a big mess in my opinion. I genuinely think everyone that went on it just wasn't great. But they are removing it from all ships, and they haven't announced what is going to go in its place. They have plans. It will not be an additional charge. It will be included in your fare, but they have not given any dates of when it's going to be there or what it's going to be. So at the moment they have these big yellow empty things on their ships. But in my opinion, like I said, I did it and I really didn't think it was great. I'd love to know if you've ever done it. Put it in the comments below what you thought about it and if you're going to miss it. But I really think it was a long time coming, this with the Skypad. This week in my cruise ship memorabilia collection, I get really excited when I get new things. I've recently bought something on eBay, and it is a 2000 Voyage of the Seas documentary of how to build the world's largest cruise ship. Now, how cool is this? And it's not a DVD; it's a VHS set. I don't actually have one of these. Also, it's American, so I can't even play it in this country. But I just thought it was so cool, and there's like some Easter eggs on here, like kind of like this is the one that I'm going to mean. The first Eagle class cruise ship. Like, so this was before they changed it to Voyager class. So I just like this sort of thing. It's 23 years old and it's literally in like, there's no damage on it whatsoever. And yeah, so it's a 3-part documentary. Each one is 50 minutes long. Concept and design, building and testing, and a city at sea. Because this was one of the really like revolutionised ships with Royal Caribbean, because it had the Promenade. This was the first one that the Promenade ever debuted on, because mostly it was atriums. So this is really cool. I'm gonna get. So then it comes out in like little boxes. I don't know the VHS set in years, but this is a really cool part of the collection. So yeah, then it has like this little box like this. And yeah, building this is the Eagle class ship. It's so cool. So this is part 1, concept design, and it tells you a bit about how they designed it and whatnot. And it says on the package on the box as well here about the ship and how big it is. Like this was really cool. I'm going to do a more in-depth look on my Instagram, so just stay tuned for that. And yeah, in here it says Voyager of the Seas concept, and yeah, it says on here 2000 multi-image production. So it's 23 years old and it's actually in mint condition. I love it. This is one. I'm now saying this is one of my coolest things I have in my collection, and I really like this. So yeah, I'm gonna do a more in-depth look of I put it in the wrong way. More in-depth look on it on my Instagram. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. Norwegian Cruise Line is bringing back E-Masters. They taken them away. I didn't really understand this. I think this was months ago that this news that came out that cruise lines were bringing back the old Master. And I just think it's kind of pointless. You get everything you need to know on the phone, then you just scan in at your station. It's so much easier than what it used to be. So Norwegian has announced they're going to bring them all back starting April 1st. So that will be really good news for all guests sailing on those ships, because it is a lot more easier, the E-Master, than waiting all at your muster station on some cruise lines with your life jacket on P&O. And yeah, it was just pain. So these E-Masters are so much better than what the old ones used to be. Disney Cruise Line has now opened its sailings for its new destination, Lighthouse Point, and it's going to be on Disney Magic and Disney Fantasy. On June 6th, there's going to be the first 3-night cruise on Disney Magic as a preview cruise for the island, and then from then on they would be doing 3, 4 and 5 night sailings going to Lighthouse Point on Fantasy and Magic. So it's been really interesting to go and check out those cruises. They are on Disney's website right now. Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas broke a world record this week with the most people crossing the transatlantic, which has 7,604 people on board, which makes it a world record, and that is really cool for the people on board that during their cruise they broke a world record. So yeah, that's a really just cool thing to be a part of, and I've always wanted to do transatlantic, but just never really have to pay for flights one way. So yeah, really cool for the people on board. And the last bit of news I got for you guys this week, Icon of the Seas related news, they have announced the Broadway style show that is going to be on the ship. It is going to be The Wizard of Oz. Now, if you're familiar with Royal Caribbean, they have Broadway shows all over their ships with like Hairspray, Grease, Cats. I don't really know Broadway shows, those are the main ones. But they have a different We Would Rock You is on Anthem. I'm just thinking of them now. So this is going to be The Wizard of Oz, and it will debut on Icon of the Seas. They're doing auditions now in New York, I think. So yeah, that's going to be really interesting to check out and see how good it is. It's always good on Royal Caribbean. Shows on Royal Caribbean are very good. But then also the guy, I follow him on Twitter, I forgot his name, but he's the producer of all the shows. And if you've been on Royal Caribbean recently, on Odyssey, is it Odyssey? Yeah. They have this new show, The Effectors. And on Wonder there's Effectors 2. And then someone said, oh, I thought it was going to be Effectors 3. He said, why not both? So we could be getting an exclusive Royal Caribbean show in the... So I've only ever seen 2 on Wonder, so I need to go on Odyssey to see 1. So he said, why not have both? So we might have Wizard of Oz plus Effectors 3. That's just going off what the guy is saying on Twitter. So it's going to be very interesting to see what more things get announced over the next year that Icon is going to be sailing. Until it sails. That is all the news I've got for you guys this week. Thank you so much for watching. It's very much appreciated. And if you like what you see, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel. It's really much appreciated, and it really does help me out. I'm also on Instagram, TikTok and Twitter, so link will be in the description below. So go and follow me on those platforms. Thank you so much for watching. It's been Shipface here, and I will see you guys in the next video.